Well, here we are at the Rani Cafe, which is in the Santa Ana Park, which is on Calle 60 and 45th Street. It's a little bit out of the absolute zero of CENTRO, but it's right down the street from where we live. And here is a shot of the cafe area where it's open from the morning at 7 in the morning till 10 at night. It kind of rises and falls, as the crowds come. They come in the early morning to eat breakfast, they come at lunch, and then they come later on in the evening. So if you come at 5 or 6 o'clock, only a couple of places are open, and in the evening about half of them are open, and in the morning everybody's open because that's going to be the main meal. Joan, of course, is eating a roast pork sandwich, which was made especially for us by Claudia, who is one of the owners. The Rani Cafe consists of 3 cafes, really, 3 stands. And there you'll see it's spelled R-A-N-Y, and their business card says R-A-N-I, but you kind of get the idea. Over in the corner in the dark there is their ceviche stand, and for their camarons, and the one with the shutters on is their fruit stand, which is open in the morning only, and which serves a great fruit dish. It's made for people who want to start their day with fruit, so that's open in the morning. The ceviche stand is open in the afternoon, and the stand we just showed you is open all of the time, but it's especially open in the evening. And you can see the extent of the stands now. In the morning, these would all be open, and I would say about a third of them are closed now. This is about 8 or 9 o'clock in the evening. If I had used the microphone that was on the camera, there would be a constant din of singing and chatter here. That's what goes on, and as you can see, it's about a third filled now, which is about how it goes in the evening, except as you get towards the weekend, it will tend to pick up a little bit as people go out. You're looking at the southern tip of Santa Ana Park, which is not much. You can't see it because of the camera and the lights, but it's filled with trees, and we'll show you some of those later. The camera's panning over now, and the gal sitting down talking to the waiter is Claudia, who is the jefe, or the boss at night. She's one of the sisters, and she was very friendly, and she kind of offered us some advice on some good things to eat. She's waving now, and so we took her advice on the pierna, which is the roast pork. It was really delicious. It's quite spicy and juicy. And in fact, they're one of the few stands around the Rani where you can get ceviche, and their shrimp cocktails, which are monstro. They're huge. They're like the old-fashioned ice cream sodas. They're about a foot high, and they're filled with shrimp. And the tomato sauce, that in fact, if you come here at night or in the daytime in the morning, you'll see that each stand has a certain number of tables, and there are a certain number of waiters for each table. So when you come by, they're hawking everything at you. We found it was better just to go to one, and so we just point to the Rani sign and they leave us alone. They know that we've been pulled in by the good food, but that in fact doesn't matter whether you're Mexican or whether you're American. Here are some of the trees that you'll see. This is hard to do at night because there's very little light in Mexico, by the way. It's not lit up like the U.S., but you'll see they're quite beautiful. Mostly mimosa trees, I guess is what you would call them in the U.S. And they're all hawking that we have mamey and tacos and tortas and so on and so forth. And it's like a bidding process, and they manage to reel a couple of customers in every once in a while. Here's Joan eating her pork sandwich, and I'm going to ask her to say a few words about the sandwiches here because she's extremely fond of them. Joan, perhaps you could say something about the sandwiches.
Well, I love the sandwiches because they're made in the Spanish style, and the Spanish style, as you know, is to take the meat and the vegetables, which is what they call them here in Mexico, and you put them together into a sandwich with mayonnaise, and the mayonnaise is want to go home and just go to sleep. That's what it's like. We love the sandwiches here, especially the roast tuna sandwiches that Claudia made for us, and we come here all the time. I would like to say one thing to you, the peoples out there who are watching me. Of course, I am Joan Alamos, famosa movie star, Estrella, they call that in Mexico, and I'm here just as Joan, a daughter, but when I go to work, of course, I am Joan Alamos, famosa movie star. Here I'm just relaxing before I go to Acapulco to star with Ramo Navarro. Even though he is dead, he just prop him up in the corner, you know? And he's quite an actor, even when he's dead, I'm telling you. He's quite an actor, you know, Ramon. He got the bone, you know what I mean? He got the bone. And so I can hardly wait to go there, although I love these Rani sandwiches when I'm here in Merida, the capital of the Yucatan and the Mayan peoples, you know. This is so good, I can't tell you how good this is with the mayonnaise, you know, Mexican mayonnaise.
Well, here I am again. I'm kind of just summing up for you and wishing that if you get to Merida, you take a little trip down to Santa Ana Park. There's nice little bakeries around the park too, and there's even a Chinese restaurant which is pretty good. It's just about the cheapest and the best. It's as good as the Chinese restaurants in Sarasota, really, when you get down to it, you know, and it's about a third of the cost, which is hard to believe because they're pretty cheap in Sarasota too. But it's the same dish every day, or the same 3 or 4 dishes, but it's worthwhile, you know. And so if you get tired of the Mexican food, of course Joan never does, and she's going to say maybe a few words for us now. Nope, she's not going to say nothing. Looks like she's not going to say anything here, so I just she's not going to say anything. Nope, she's just she's
But I like to say something about the mayonnaise again, because it's better than almonds, you know. That's all I can say to you. Yes, mayonnaise is wonderful. The mayonnaise. Well, I think this is a wonderful place, and I hope everybody makes it down to the park. And they have the wonderful pork sandwiches with the mayonnaise Mexicana, which is much better than the Hellman's mayonnaise that I was brought up with in Parkchester, where I was training to become Joan Alamos, Estrella Famosa de Mexico. I can hardly wait to get to Acapulco to see Ramon, decayed as he is, you know what I mean? But he's a good actor, though. He has a good mustache and he has the good teeth. You know, you have to have the good teeth to be a Mexican Estrella. You cannot have the bad teeth, you have to have the sexy look too, and you have to have the dog run through your hair. Pero, run through my hair and run through your hair in the middle of the day. You get that, ooh, you know, that look like you just did something, you know what I'm talking about. You do know what I'm talking about, you know, the sexy stuff. You have to have it, and then you have the sandwiches too, you know?
Well, here's Joan. She has just decided to buy a little thing from one of the Mayan Indians. This is a young girl. They're very short anyway. I mean, sometimes they're under 5 feet. But she has such a delightful face, and she's been hawking them all night long in the park. They never give up. They're not... they're very polite. They just stand in front of you, and they kind of offer them to you, and they say a few words, and usually you say no, but they don't get upset. They just stand there, and then they go away, then they come back. And so we thought we'd buy one and show you this is our first cultural exchange of any kind, of really any significance in Mexico. And Joan now has a little Mayan weaving which will go around her wrist or something like that, and she'll wear it all of the time, and she'll show it to her friends in America, and she'll have something to say besides, well, we ate a lot of food, you know. So anyway, I hope you make it down here to the Rani chain of restaurants here, cafes. They do all kinds of stuff. They can cook up a storm if you want to, if you have a home here in Merida, or you want to get some food, put together for you.